Hello everyone, welcome back. I want to talk about positive thinking. So positive thinking is a mental attitude that focuses on the good and hopeful aspects of life. It involves looking at situations and experiences in a constructive and optimistic manner and believing that good things will happen. Positive thinking involves disregarding negative thoughts and beliefs and replacing them with positive ones. It's about focusing on the present moment, embracing challenge as an opportunity, as growth, as trusting in one's own abilities and potential for success. The goal of positive thinking is to increase your happiness, to reduce stress, to improve your overall well-being. You know, I've mentioned before that one of my favourite books in the world was The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Now, I read that when I was about 16, and it was instrumental in my youth at getting me out of a mental rut. But I've heard some gurus in the personal development space who've denigrated having this positive mindset and confused it with wearing rose-coloured glasses where you deny reality and hence you act inappropriately. But I think this shows a bit of a lack of understanding of what real positive thinking is. A positive thinker is a person who sees the world as it is, but is not paralysed by the pain, by the problems and the difficulties that they perceive. Rather, their mindset is to see through the problem to the solution, to the potential, to the possibilities that every crisis presents. A person with this focus we call an optimist. And optimistic people, it's been shown in the psych research, are happier, healthier, they make more money, they have better jobs, they have longer and better relationships, and they even live longer. How about you? Are you a positive thinker? Do you brighten and enlighten a room when you enter it? Or do you bring a dark cloud of foreboding, of cynicism and negativity? I've heard others speak negatively about people having a Pollyanna approach to life that apparently, denies reality and ill prepares people for the sufferings of life. But I feel this is doing an injustice to the name Pollyanna. One of my favourite films when I was young was the film Pollyanna, starring Hayley Mills. Pollyanna is actually a novel by Eleanor H. Porter. It was first published in about 1913. It's the story of an orphan girl named Pollyanna who has to go and live with her strict and wealthy aunt after the death of her parents. Now, despite her difficult circumstances, Pollyanna remains optimistic. She always finds something to be grateful for. She seems to spread joy and positivity wherever she goes, inspiring those around her to be and do the same. The novel follows Pollyanna as she navigates through life's challenges and triumphs, always finding a way to see the bright side of things and bring happiness to those around her. The story is a testament to the power of positive thinking and its ability to bring joy and peace to even the bleakest of circumstances. At the end of the book, she has so transformed the lives and attitudes of the people around her that when she suffers a cataclysmic fall and is critically injured, and she's at her lowest emotional ebb, it's those very people, those around her, who now sustain her with their positivity. There's a great Australian poem by John O'Brien, and it's called Said Hanrahan. I thought I'd read it to you. One, I think you'll get a bit of a laugh out of it, but also it just demonstrates perhaps the problem of having a negative attitude in life. We'll all be ruined, said Hanrahan, in accents most forlorn. Outside the church, ere Mass began one frosty Sunday morn, the congregation stood about, coat collars to the ears, and talked of stock and crops and drought, as it had done for years. It's looking crook, said Daniel Croak. Bedad, it's crook, me lad, for never since the banks went broke has seasons been so bad. It's dry, all right, said young O'Neill, with which astute remark he squatted down upon his heel and chewed a piece of bark. And so around the chorus ran, it's keeping dry, no doubt. We'll all be ruined, said Hanrahan, before the year is out. The crops are done. You'll have your work to have one bag of grain. From here way out to back of Burke, they're singing out for rain. They're singing out for rain, he said, and all the tanks are dry. The congregation scratched its head and gazed around the sky. There won't be grass in any case, enough to feed an ass. There's not a blade on Casey's place as I came down to Mass. If rain don't come this month, said Dan, and cleared his throat to speak. We'll all be ruined, said Hanrahan, if rain don't come this week. A heavy silence seemed to steal on all at this remark, and each man squatted on his heel and chewed a piece of bark. We want an inch of rain or more, O'Neill observed at last, but Croak maintained we wanted 2 to put the danger past. If we don't get 3 inches, man, or 4 to break this drought, we'll all be ruined, said Hanrahan, before the year is out. In God's good time, down came the rain, and all the afternoon, on iron roof and window pane, it drummed a homely tune. And through the night it pattered still, and lightsome, gladsome elves on dripping spout and windowsill kept talking to themselves. It pelted all day long, a-singing at its work, till every heart took up the song way out to back of Burke. And every creek a banker ran, and dams filled over top. We'll all be ruined, said Hanrahan, if this rain doesn't stop. And stop it did, in God's good time, and spring came into fold, a mantle over the hill sublime of green and pink and gold. And days went by on dancing feet, with harvest hopes immense, and laughing eyes beheld the wheat nodding o'er the fence. And oh, the smiles on every face, as happy lad and lass, through grass knee-deep on Casey's place, went riding down to Mass, while round the church, in clothes genteel, discoursed the men of mark, and each man squatted on his heel and chewed his piece of bark. There'll be bushfires for sure, me man. There will, without a doubt. We'll all be ruined, said Hanrahan, before the year is out. Obviously, Hanrahan had a certain attitude and view of life. What's yours? Are you training yourself to have a negative or a positive view of life? Do you see through the problems to the possibilities, or are you trapped in a negative mindset and in the moment, bringing unhappiness upon yourself? Catch you next time.